So in my first video, I mentioned that I like to code, but I didn't go too in-depth about it. I started coding when I stumbled upon Khan Academy's computer programming courses, which are absolutely awesome, and no, I am not sponsored. I became pretty intrigued and started exploring. Of course, I wasn't that interested until I started the HTML, CSS, jQuery courses. For those of you who don't know what those are the basic languages that make up the web. The languages that created the framework of YouTube, Facebook, Google, etc. The languages that make any page on the internet have content, look good, and mildly interactive. Storing data and processing and such are a different story. In this video, I won't be going into too much detail about that. I'll just be sharing a few tips about what I like to do when creating a website. Of course, I've only had experience on Khan Academy and I just started Replit, so not all of these will work. But before I start, be sure to subscribe and like this video. Also stick around until the end for a special announcement. Number 1. Change your font. Please. What I hate most about web pages is when they use plain old Times New Roman. Of course, Times New Roman can look very good when used properly. Just don't do this. Wow, it's so amazing. It's so amazing that you misspelled best. Number 2. Choose the right color scheme. There's a clear difference between a bright pink yellow page, a black and yellow one, and a professional site. What is it? Well, the main thing is color. When used properly, it's a very powerful tool. You can learn more by simply researching. Number 3. The ones I mentioned before were more CSS tips. That's because that's the language I prefer the most. But there's also the content of the site itself. Making eye-catching titles isn't enough. It has to be interesting. Find that perfect balance between professionalism and wittiness. Number 4. Make it interactive. I know the basics of JavaScript, but I don't know any backend languages that well. However, I do know that pages are just boring if you can't interact with them. Try adding something to spice it up, whether it's scrolling animations or copy and paste. Speaking of which. Number 5. Try something new. Having the same trademark design isn't always the best thing. Sure, anyone can recognize it when you design something, but after a while, it will get boring. Also, how can you learn something new if you just, essentially, make the same thing over and over again? Try it out at least once. It's good to see a change sometimes. Yeah, that's all the tips I have. I might upload some actual videos of me coding sometime, but that's for the future. Until then, bye! So I've had this idea for a while now. At the time of writing my intro, I didn't really consider it. But I guess I'll be making a few coding videos from now on. I also might make a music video in the near future. Maybe even game, but that's a reward if my channel hits 15 subs. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, eh? Trust me, you really want to see the special guest I have for the first one. She's very interesting. So go ahead and subscribe. Thanks!